Hey church family, it's Antonio, live from Waco, Texas. During this time of season, I'm constantly praying for many of you. I pray that the Lord is providing comfort, guidance, health, and I pray that even when we can meet together face to face, that we know that we are not alone during this time. During this time, I know deep down that many of us wonder, when will all of this be over? When will we be back at church, back to seeing our friends and family, back to going to the grocery store without having chaos? And we ask these questions because it has been part of our lives day in and day out. But I'm asking you today, you know who else has been part of our lives day in, day out? Jesus. I remember growing up, I would always hear the stories of how the three kings were guided by a star to find baby Jesus in the manger. So the question I have for you today is, are you following your star? And I don't mean a physical star, but the acronym STAR. The acronym stands for S for show, T for thankfulness, A for appreciation, and R for respect. So let's begin with show. One of the things that Jesus did with his apostles was show them his teachings, miracles, and most importantly, he also showed them how to do all of this with good character. In Philippians 2, it talks about Jesus being humble, compassionate, unselfish, and how he loved everyone. Despite the things that Jesus faced, from persecution to being called a liar, he suffered until the end so that we could live a life full of righteousness. Today, we are all facing our own challenges, but despite what we are facing as a nation, the main thing to keep in mind is to show and resemble the character that Jesus once had. When life starts to challenge us during this time, rather than being frustrated about some of the choices that our government is doing, our employers, or our school, we should be compassionate, loving, and accepting like Jesus once showed his disciples. As parents, showing a good character will rub off on your children, and as a family, it will help us live a better life rather than living in frustration. On to our second acronym. Thankfulness. Are we thanking God for what we have rather than what we don't have? I know for myself, I can get caught up saying, well, I wish I was back at school to see my friends, back to shopping at stores in peace, or just going to church. But are we thanking God today for just the air that we are breathing today? The many days we get to wake up, the many days we get to eat. Are we being thankful for just having the opportunity to call someone and ask if they are okay? During the season, we must be thankful for the things we have, and even though we don't know what's to come, Jesus says he has a plan for us. With our third acronym, appreciation. Are we being appreciative for those on the front lines during this time? For those of you watching, and if you are watching at home, and you are on the front lines, I just want to say, thank you so much for sacrificing your family, your time, and your health to keep us going. It truly means a lot for us. Today, church, I also want to remind you that from the doctors in the ER all the way to the people delivering our mail, they are risking their health for us to provide the things that we need. So next time we're at HEB, grocery shopping, or we're getting our trash picked up, to show just one bit of appreciation for those on the front lines, the least that we can do is just say a quick thank you. Lastly, with the last acronym, R for respect. Are we respecting our government authority to what they're asking for? Romans 13:1 says, everyone must submit to governing authorities, for all authority comes from God, and those in positions in authority have been placed there by God. So let's listen to what our government has to say, from staying home to not being selfish and grabbing all the supplies at Walmart. They are doing this because they want to see our nation come out of this, and in our part, we can be back to a church again one day. In conclusion, I am super thankful to share this message with you today. One of the verses that I want to share with you today is Jeremiah 29:11, where it says, "For I know I have the plans for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not disaster, to give you future and a hope." God is here with us. He has never left us. He hasn't forgotten about us, and he will continue to show his ways.